Today I'm going to talk about removing dust spots and either sensor or lens contaminants like smudges and the such from your digital photos as part of your post-processing workflow. I'm going to start out here in Lightroom, but we'll do the actual work in Photoshop CS5. If you're not using CS5, there at least one of these techniques, I believe there'll be a comparable method that will map to your software. So here we have this this photograph. It's not even really a great photograph. It's poorly composed. It was probably taken from a moving vehicle, but you can see here we have some pretty horrendous smudge action going on. Probably something on the lens, and of course we've got a couple of these little dust spots that most likely were on the sensor. We also have these sun flares. I don't necessarily mind the sun flares. So CS5 introduced, and it's pretty well known now, a spot recovery tool or spot healing tool, and it's this little guy here next to the color dropper, below the color dropper, and it's pretty nice. You highlight an area that has a problem, and it will attempt to repair it. In this particular case, it did an okay job, but if you look, there's still sort of a noisy area in where it did its repair. So in this case, I'm not going to use it. It is a nice tool though. The spot recovery tool does work pretty well on these little dust spots that are on the sensor lens though. But these larger smudges, or on the sensor rather, on these smudges, like this was on my, I think actually on the lens, doesn't do so well. So I ran into a technique that does work pretty well, and really only in these sky situations. What I did here was just created a new layer from the background of my photo, and I'm going to go to my photo background layer, and I'm going to blur it a lot. And we'll zoom out. And that looks pretty good. Now on a foreground layer, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to add a layer mask. Make sure that black is my foreground color. And I'm going to just mask in some of the blurred background on that dust spot area. And you can see that, at least in sky scenarios, masking in from a blurred version of the sky from the background does a pretty good job of actually getting rid of the smudges. So here's sort of what our photo looks like now. That smudge seems to be gone. This cloud looks a little messy, so again, I'm applying this to the foreground mask there. So that looks pretty good. I think there's another spot there. We have these sunspots, but again, I kind of like the flares, so I'm going to leave that. And then I guess that looks pretty good. We'll finish our processing here. We will save it back to Lightroom. And give it some of the normal treatments. Fix the jacked up composition a bit. Crop out some of the less glamorous areas of the location there. And we will also do a little noise redux on there. Alright, let's see what we got. So you can see now we've got a pretty clear photo. Lens spots gone, dust spots are gone, all in a few minutes. Like I said, the spot healing tool, or the content aware fill tool in Photoshop rather, does a pretty good job with the smaller spots, but the larger smudge areas in the lens, creating a copy of the photo in the background, blurring that background, and then masking in just over top those areas seems to do a better job. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out in some of your photos.